list. Let's see. I was in Japan last year. Been in China, Mexico, Canada, France, Spain, all over the U.S. and probably some more countries I haven't thought of. Puerto Rico.
But you're born and raised right in Kentucky, correct?
That's correct. I come from Berea. Lived in Lexington for about 18 years, and now I'm in Woodford County in sales.
Okay. So when you compare this to all other types of sculpture, what makes this unique as far as working with the sand is concerned?
Well, there's more sand involved in this type of sculpture, but it's actually very similar to working in stone or wood, any kind of deductive sculpture, because I'm taking away to reveal what's underneath it. You know? I'm actually carving away all the sand that isn't what I want to see.
So you have the idea of a finished product in your head, or do you go just kind of piece by piece each day with what you want to accomplish?
Well, I have a general overall idea. You may have seen a sketch that I did. The one thing I can say about the sketch is that it won't look exactly like that, because it will continue to evolve as I go down and devise new elements, new ways to transition from one to another. So it will change.
Okay. Talk again about the idea just of kind of what this finished product will be. We're trying to include all things Kentucky and then in particular to the games as well. Talk about that.
Yes, this sculpture is in a 360 degrees, totally finished in the round. One side will be all about the World Equestrian Games, different aspects, different competitions that take place there, and just scenes from that. The other side will be all Kentucky elements, including Churchill Downs that I'm working on here, and other things that Kentucky's proud of, you know, including the whiskey and the horse farms, bluegrass music, things like that.
I got you. What's it like to be able to come home after you've kind of been to all these places, done all these things, and do a piece that's kind of truly Kentucky?
This has a tremendous appeal, you know. For one thing, I get to do something so that all my friends can actually see what I do instead of see that I've just gone away. The other thing is that I'm able to commute home at night, which is very rare for me. Sand always has to be done in place. There's no moving it around. So it's always travel. So it's a little more travel than I want to be away from home. It's very nice to be able to do a job that I can commute to.
Biggest challenge working with sand?
Well, in this case, it's falling 20 feet off the pile and killing myself. So I guess that's a bit of a challenge. But otherwise, the sand is a really nice medium to carve in. I think any sculptor would appreciate it. It's very easy to carve. It just, like any sculpture, it takes a while to enough practice to make it look like something nice.
Is it difficult at the end of the day knowing that it's something that you will spend a ton of time on, but it's not something that will be able to, you know, stay forever? It'll eventually have to, you know, come down or wash away?
That's true. Nothing that I've built in the last 30 years is still standing except for this piece. So it's certainly a lesson in letting go. But that's always understood from the start. You know, it's not like I planned to keep it and then it's gone. So as long as the photos come out, I'm pretty happy.
Anything else you want to include that I haven't asked?
Probably. People always ask what holds them together. Let me reassure you, there's nothing here but sand and water. There's no secret ingredient. There's no glue or hairspray inside it. It's just that the sand has been compacted into these wooden forms that hold it up. Otherwise, sand, I recommend it as the medium for the 21st century because it's so easy on the planet. You know, it's recyclable to infinity. It's a great way to learn to sculpt no matter what kind of medium you want to work in, because you can just carve over and over and over the same little amount of sand, turn it into an infinite number of things.
So, step one, build the wooden part. Step two, bring in the sand. Step three, get to work.
That's close enough. But actually, the wooden forms and the sand have to be here at the same time because they're built from the ground up. The first form is here, filled with wet sand, packed down with machines. Then the second one on top, repeated all the way to the top. So what it does is make a big carving block, and then everything is carved away from that. The thing that's unique about working in the sand, carving the sand, is that it has to be done from the top down. You can't work below where you're going to work above because it destroys what's underneath it.
And what's your margin of error?
I don't know what that means. You know, there's always a plan B, I'll say that. So there are times when things fall down. edges just don't stand up. You might push the sand to the limit of its structural strength, because all sand is different, so it's always an experiment in what it can do. It can't do. It's different all over the country. There's no universal labeling system for it. So I can work to the medium that I'm in. I work to the limit of this sand. And sometimes I find that out by what falls down.